Let's open up the OG Mailbag. Alongside Joe Giglio, I'm Joe Ovius. We are inside Eford Studios in downtown Raleigh. We always thank Empire Properties. We always thank our friends at Copiers Plus. We're going to see Drew today at our OG Golf Classic.
Got a present for Drew.
I know, I'm very excited.
Actually, he has a present for us. That's a great swag bag. I know this is going to be very dated by every time as people see it, but they got great stuff. Well, the little cooler bag that we have.
Yeah.
The Copiers Plus.
Yeah, the coffee mugs.
Yes.
Well, you know what? We can do it as a show until next Thursday.
The blanket thing for if you go to Carter Finley,
and
they still have the bench.
Yeah.
Jessica brings that thing to every game.
Yeah. Speaking of show and tell, remember I was talking about cleaning out the car?
Yeah.
This week. Look what I found.
2020.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can tell it's been in the back of my car for a long time. But this is the ACC tournament 2020.
2020
shut down. This is a collector's item. This belongs in a museum. I will put it on the wall to continue. And of course, with the mailbag, the free portion is brought to you by our friends at the Butcher's Market. Check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. Get the Gleazy dog over at that Falls and Millbrook location. The Gleazy sauce is fantastic. You can also get OG Light while you're at the Butcher's Market. And of course, you can pick up all of your grilling and tailgate needs. As I was driving in, I know they say, was it red sky at night, sailor's delight?
Mm-hmm.
Red sky in morning, take warning. Take warning. Well, you know what? Army had to take warning last night.
Whoa, your parlay did not come home.
I know. But
ECU was for the troops.
ECU did not respect the troops last night. The first half was pretty disrespectful to the troops, I thought. But of course, ECU can't do anything easily, so it got a little interesting there. But look like they had a good crowd and a nice win for the Pirates. So yeah, the free portion is brought to you by our friends at the Butcher's Market. You want to get the whole mailbag, you head on over to our YouTube channel, and you can become part of the membership crew. Just $5 a month. You get the full mailbag. You get the full OG on business. There's also some little goodies that go along with that, like custom emoji sets, which I need to update. I know there's a few more that I got to do. And also there's a little badges that come with you. Some of you have noticed because you've been an OG member for more than a month.
Oh,
the badges change every month. So the first month, the second month, I think when you get to 6 months, there's like a different one too. It's like an upside down triangle. Good. So like there's all little like happy little fun things to signify how long you've been a YouTube member for the OG channel. So again, just click that join button for $5 a month. Are you ready to do it? You ready to open up this OG mailbag, Joe?
Here's the mail.
Let's go.
Never fails.
Here's the mail that never fails. Makes me wanna wag my tail when it comes to what a whale.
This is basically an amalgamation of several responses we got to the two interviews that we did this week. One with American Commissioner Tim Pernetti. Shout out to the ECU fans that put that out there. They hyped that one. So
that's cool.
We appreciate that. Because if you're an ECU fan, you're genuinely interested in what this guy has to say about the conference that you're in and how things might be moving forward as we get to that 2030 date. So there's a question related to the interview that we got from Tim Pernetti and a lot of responses to the Will Wade interview, NC State head coach Will Wade. I will say that there was one moment where I was triggered in that interview when he said, "What gets measured gets done." And I was like, I flashed back like, oh no, you're taking me back to a meeting.
We're having a meeting.
So one of the questions that we ended up getting related to the Tim Pernetti interview comes from Will.
You've got mail.
Serious question, Joe's. How much is location going to affect college football success in the NIL era? I can only imagine it's going to be harder to get kids to come play in Stillwater than it would to be in Miami or Raleigh. Go Pack. What do you all think? This might also be in relation to how do you get to Greenville, America. We'll just show them clips of Sup Dogs and that sells itself, right? Actually, I would say that location becomes immaterial at this point. Remember, and we talked about this either last week or 2 weeks ago in relation to Nick Saban going on Pat McAfee's show and saying the quiet part out loud as to why the Big Ten seems to have taken back its corners with the SEC. The SEC had money and they had culture. But once, let's not act like the bag man didn't exist.
Right.
But now that the Big Ten, which is swimming in cash, very similar to Scrooge McDuck, they can overcome some cold weather issues by throwing money at the problem.
That's what the money's for.
Exactly. So When we talked about leveling the playing field, and remember, people would wring their hands and clutch pearls about leveling the playing field, like this is going to be an uneven playing field. Actually, no. I always maintain that there will be some leveling that would occur at the bigger schools because you could literally throw money at the problem rather than trying to sell you on some other stuff.
And of course, as we're learning this year, just because you have money doesn't mean you're making the right choices.
No. So to the listener's question, will it affect in terms of location? The answer, I think, is no. I don't think location matters anymore as long as you are meeting the players where they want, and that is financially. And once they get there, maybe they are in Stillwater and they're like, what the hell am I doing here? Right. But I would also argue that kind of exists in some SEC markets as well. Like, what am I doing here? So I do think that the money actually helps alleviate some of those issues.
Wasn't that one of the more interesting points that Will Wade made on Thursday?
Dude, my spidey senses tingled when he said, can you pay?
What do you pay?
Right.
Not can, because you're promised something.
Yeah.
Do you make the payments?
I thought that was interesting.
I thought his point about now, okay, to what you're saying, if everyone has money, well, then it goes back to the relationships, which I would not have actually thought of.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just thought, oh, you're giving me more money, I'm going to go play for you.
Yeah.
Listen, we're all figuring this thing out. The old idea of location and television markets, I hated all of that for West Virginia. I hated all of that for ECU. I hate all of that for App State.
Mm-hmm.
These are three programs that have a lot of pride and a lot of passion for football. And I think they all kind of deserve better than what they got. I wish they were all in the irate Giglio conference with NC State and Tennessee.
I mean, there's always going to be hope for that. Well, to that point about money, and money isn't everything. Am I making as much money now as I was at my previous job?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. I'm making about 2/3 of what I was making at the end of my time in radio. Am I happier? Yes.
I would say yes.
Okay. I was going to say, you would know. You could call bullshit on it. Am I happier or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to do more things. That's
right.
Kind of flexibility that you just didn't have.
I just did not have. So money is nice. But at the same time, there's some other things that matter too. And that's why I was curious when Wade brought that up about money. The irony of, if everybody's got money, how do you differentiate? He seems to be doing a very good job out of the gate at NC State. All right, let's go to a 252.
Hey guys, just calling in to say I really enjoyed that Coach Wade interview. Just being a college basketball fan and knowing about just his brief background at LSU, I just assumed he was just trying to get the best players and just roll the ball out. But him going into detail about his analytical background, how he's grown from that, kind of pleasantly surprised and gonna lower my temper my expectations for this year. I don't want to be too crazy saying we'll cut the nets down in Indianapolis, but damn, that was a very impressive interview. Thanks.
Just listening back to what Will said, I thought one part of it. Now he does like his team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought one part that he said, players make the program.
Yes.
Not the other way around, and people get that out of whack. May I introduce you to Villanova? May I introduce you to North Carolina?
Indiana.
May I introduce you to Syracuse? Have we even thought about Syracuse basketball since Jim Boeheim?
No.
Even at the end of his cockamamie run, where he'd spot dimes and eat onions, he made a Final Four here, and then he would lose, at home to Siena.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
To win at the highest level, you have to have the players. I think State has some good players.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be a tough team, but I do worry about that scoring. They really are going to need that freshman Matt Abel to be a pure scorer. They're going to need Paul McNeil to show the form that he had in high school and be a more complimentary third scorer. I have no doubt that Williams drives the bus. I have no doubt.
Yeah.
The Texas Tech transfer. If you see him in person, you're like, oh, okay. He's 6'6", he's a tank.
Okay.
But I worry that do they have enough skill to be at the highest level this year? That's their big question this year. A shooting and skill. Of course, we usually use those two words hand in hand.
All right, from a 919.
Hello, G. 9:36 p.m. Thursday evening. Watching ECU and Army. I'm getting worried about ECU. They look like they're on the verge of second half blowing this lead. We'll see. You talked about the U.S. Weekly or Us Weekly piece on Jordan and Belichick. Halloween's near. Does UNC need an intervention? Does UNC football need an exorcist to get rid of the succubus that is Jordan Hudson? If Halloween's coming close, I think about that Salem's Lot movie from the late 70s. Pretty damn cool if you can find it. She's just sucking the life out of everything. Have a good weekend, guys. Thank you for what you do.
I appreciate the call, Curtis, but
that's not exactly fair.
Okay. This is where we have to put our foot down here on that kind of stuff. All right.
I don't think she picked the roster.
No.
I don't think she did.
This is why on Saturday, after they lost to Central Florida, and Dimitri and I were doing the After Dark, I made it abundantly clear, and I'm going to do it again. This is not about Jordan Hudson anymore. Jordan Hudson is just something that people can point and laugh at.
Right.
But the issues that are happening at UNC lay at the feet at two individuals. The first one is Bill Belichick himself for taking the job in the first place and then fleecing the university by filling his coaching staff with his kids and his buddies. That's a grift.
Yep.
Straight up. The second person that this is the fault of is John Pryor, the head of the board of trustees, who went rogue again. I mean, he had a hell of a 2024, man. It started with calling out Bubba Cunningham to, I don't know, do the dick measuring contest with Clemson and Florida State about
let me see your books.
Yeah, we need to see your books because he wanted to get back. He wanted to get in on the action of all the things that were happening with conference realignment and being talked about. It was a dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
And then he quickly got slapped down. And then he got mad after they fired Mac Brown when it was time for him to go. He got mad about that. And then he hijacked the coaching search, which then brings us to the week that we've had at UNC. I joked yesterday that they are already down a couple of scores in the open week. Okay.
Right.
Let's go through the week, shall we? We find out at the beginning of the week that poor Ludacris has to do a show at 10 a.m.
I think it's 9:45, but yeah.
I went back and I looked at the tweet. 10 a.m.
10 a?
10 a.m.
Okay.
Now, old me goes,
shit, man, Luda's got to be up at 8 then.
No, man. I mean, look, I get that Luda's older too. And when I mentioned it to Kelly, like, hey, by the way, you remember when you said you wanted to go see Ludacris at UNC? She goes, yeah, it's like, I think it's going to go on at 10 a.m. now. She goes, even better.
That's right.
Because we're all old now.
Luda's 48.
Okay, then yeah, he's probably like you and me. He's probably waking up at 6:30 in the morning for no reason.
It's like, I can't drink those heavy beers anymore.
So honestly, I take it back. Ludacris going out at 10 a.m. is a win for old people because I can go with my coffee,
Roll them bows.
I want to hear the 1 Minute Man cameo, right? So I get that, right?
This is a coup for Carolina to get Ludacris.
No, Ludacris is great.
Like,
and then when Ludacris is done around 11, I'll go to Cosmic Cantina and I go home. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I take that back. That's actually a win. But let's think about this.
Oh, man.
Is he
going to play Move, bitch?
He should. I saw what? He even did the Austin Powers track too. Number one spot.
Nope. I won't do it.
What are you not going to do?
Nope.
Anyway. So I take it back.
I hope Jordan is not on the field while Move Bitch is being played because that's got high meme potential. Not me. Not for me.
Yeah. Well,
Just
remember,
for her sake.
this is in Polk Place. This is not in the field.
Where is it?
It's in the quad.
Oh, okay. I thought they were rolling them out on the stadium.
No, it happens over in the quad.
Oh, boo.
That's actually a good spot for it.
No, I just meant like
Anyway,
the spectacle of seeing
to
Luda
wrap
at Keenan.
to wrap the point, this week has actually been, take the ludicrous thing aside, this week has been filled with everything that's been wrong about the UNC Bill Belichick experiment, right? Take the Us Weekly thing out of the equation, which it just shows you that she desperately wants to be a reality star. You have Lee Roberts, the chancellor, coming out this week preaching patience.
Sure.
You know, we're building this brick by, I'm paraphrasing here,
I don't
but
think it was Lee. I think it was someone else.
No, it was Lee Roberts, dude. It was Lee Roberts.
Okay.
The chancellor of UNC, talking about patience.
Okay.
Patience with a 73-year-old head coach who clearly doesn't want to be there? No. We ain't doing that. And then there's a lawsuit that was dropped about how all this stuff was done under the, in secrecy, because you didn't have the open meetings laws met. And that's what they accuse. We're going to have to link up with David McKenzie about this. Anyway, the bottom line is, even in a week they're not playing football, they're still in the headlines for the wrong reasons. And when they do play football, they're in the headlines for the wrong reasons, because it's become embarrassing. Because they are bad. And
okay. I just saw that Brian Murphy had quoted Malcolm Turner, who is the Board of Trustees chairman, but I guess in the story too, he has Lee Roberts as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we had that right. Giving Murph some credit.
Oh, Murph always gets credit. All right, let's go to 1919.
Hey, OGs. NC State fan here, and I wanted to offer maybe a little bit of a different take on the game from Saturday against Duke. And feel free to tell me how off this is, but I think the problem a lot of State fans have is they're stuck with a certain perception of what Duke football is based on what they used to be. I was at NC State class of 03, so not too far behind you guys. And I kind of tend to default back to just, kind of thinking of Duke along the lines of what they were back then, which was not very good. Didn't they go like 2 years without winning a conference game? They had a track around their football field. No matter who they played, the other team always had more fans in attendance than they did. And I think for a lot of us, it's tough to kind of shake that. But as you guys have mentioned, in the new era of NIL, right, that's sort of changed the playing field. So nowadays, if you can pay, you can play. And I might have the numbers wrong, but I could have sworn, listening to some of your earlier episodes, you had mentioned, that might have been last year, that NC State's NIL budget for their football team was around $4 million. And I could have sworn you said Duke's was closer to 9. Now, I may be mixing and matching those numbers. They may not be quite accurate, but I'm almost positive you've mentioned that Duke is now spending more on their roster than NC State. So assuming that's true, let's strip away, old perceptions, fan bias, all of that. Let's take the names off the jerseys and the helmets and do kind of a blind taste test of what happened Saturday. And what you had was Team A played against Team B in football. And Team A spends more money on their program than Team B, possibly even twice as much. I don't know. And lo and behold, Team A wins the game. So, again, bias aside, isn't that kind of what's supposed to happen in that scenario? So, I guess, my advice to State fans, maybe spend less time on the message boards, talking about how much you hate Dave Doran, and maybe spend more time trying to figure out, A, how in the hell is NC State, the largest public university in the state, the tailgating culture, the football, the game day atmosphere, all of that, how in the hell are we getting outspent in football by Duke, one of the smallest private institutions in all of FBS? And maybe more importantly, how do we fix that? Anyway, love to get your...
Oh, he almost did it all in 3 minutes. Almost had it in 3 minutes. Almost.
He's making a lot of salient points there. And the number last year was 10 million. My guess is Duke's spending up to the cap this year. Duke's got a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Their problems before were getting any recruit to come into play into an empty building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And spare me the 40-year. You don't come to Duke for 4 years. It's for 40 years. Football players don't care about that. That's why you weren't very good in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. Okay, that's the reality of it. The equation has changed. You have hired some good coaches. You have invested in football. All of those things are true. Their payroll may even still be twice of what NC State's is.
They've got so much payroll. Another hat tip to Murph. Darian Mensah's contract has come into play for funds appropriations for things that are happening in Durham. So at Duke. So it does show the amount of money that's been spending there.
That's all real.
That's all real stuff.
They've played 3 years in a row. NC State's had decent teams in those 3 years. Again, money doesn't necessarily mean you're better. Okay. Like while I think Duke is better than what they were, that's not an accomplishment. Duke was literally the worst program in the country.
Yes.
I think Duke and NC State are very close to each other. And I think even a Duke fan would tell you Duke is not with Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama.
Nobody's saying
Nobody
that.
would argue that.
Nobody's
right?
saying that.
But I do think Duke, NC State, North Carolina, not Clemson, because I think Clemson probably is closer, up there where they are. Miami's probably a little bit closer up there. Florida State's a little bit closer up there. Pick a middling SEC program, Mississippi State, Texas Tech. Like these are all, programs that I would put on the same level. You're the same. You're not one of the elite programs. So if we're about the same, even with a disparity in payroll, you shouldn't lose 3 years in a row. Like you're not playing Clemson. You're not playing War Machine Clemson. You shouldn't lose 3 years in a row to them.
Okay.
Period.
But you have.
But they have.
All right.
And there you are.
I'm gonna boil this down to an even easier thing to digest. Duke's biggest problem is, despite all the things that the caller correctly pointed out, and the investment and where Duke is and what they're doing, you still can't get people to show up. This is not
Do they care?
That's the question. If Duke had a level of care, because I do think there's a distinction between Duke football and Wake Forest football, because there is a little bit more of a symbiotic relationship between Winston-Salem and the university that is Wake Forest University. Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Duke struggles to find traction in that town to get people to give a shit about Duke football. Some of that is proximity to how the area is set up. Okay, I get all that kind of stuff. But to the caller's point, going to Wallace Wade is a really different experience than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But there's one thing that stays the same. When you go to a game at Wallace Wade, and I even saw this when I went to the Illinois game, buddy, it is a road game at home.
Duke's like live golf.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it in a pejorative way. I'm saying, I'm not saying do they care? Like, oh my God, they don't care about football. I'm saying if your investment is there and the people who are giving you that money are using that investment. Yeah. And I think as a university, they see football as a way to get to the Big Ten.
Yes.
Okay. To be crystal clear about what their intentions are.
I would be doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yep.
They're trying to show the Big Ten, yes, invite us. Yes, we're serious about football. Yes, we will become and come and be competitive in your mega conference.
Totally agree.
That is what they're doing. Okay. They're doing it silently, but that's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. When I say, do they care? It's a lot like live golf. Oh, I got the best golfers in the world. Do you think I care if anybody watches on TV? I don't care. I mean, like, ultimately, what matters to you? What motivates you? So I think what Duke's trying to do is get to the Big Ten. I don't think they necessarily care if the family of four in Durham shows up for the game against Tulane or not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, let's go to a 619.
Hey, guys, you're just listening to the episode where you're talking about possibly anointing a top of the Triangle Good Mountain. And I just thought it's a good idea, but that is just really treading water in a shallow pool. There's a lot more opportunities here with the triangle being the focus of this decision. Tip of the triangle, low-hanging fruit, pretty good. Tip of the pyramid, even. I mean, obviously there's more points in the pyramid than three, but we don't have to talk about that. Tip of the pyramid sounds better. But I think the best team in the triangle, the most triangle good team, should be known as the obtuse angle of the triangle. I think it just goes well. Then you have the other ones as the acute angles, and it's even more insulting. I think it's great. So do it that way you will.
I like that. The trophy possibilities are are pretty good.
Well, since we're on the topic of triangle good, shout out to Daniel, who I assume went on ChatGPT and asked the bot, the AI bot, to create a Lego triangle good set. Which, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see. I love it. It's got a triangle. It's got Lego road pieces in the form of a triangle. It's got a little Lego old well. It's got a Lego bell tower. It's got a Lego stadium, and it's got little minifigures wearing their little items and whatnot. I do think it's great. And if I zoom and enhance on the thing, triangle good, mediocre NC ACC teams, NC State and Duke. As always, it's the minifigures that go for more money on the secondary market.
Yeah. Is that Roy Williams?
It might be Roy Williams. I don't know.
Why does the Tar Heel fan have silver hair?
I mean, maybe it is Roy.
Okay.
I have no idea. Well, it's the old hairs, the wine and cheese crowd, if you will. I don't see if there's a Jordan in there either, but that's very inspired. Very, very inspired. All right, one more on the free side of things before we move on over to the YouTube membership channel. This is from Patrick on Twitter. Hey, Giglio, Ovias, y'all need a Ryder Cup correspondent. Ooh. Yeah, have you ever wanted to go to the Ryder Cup? Do you get worked up about the Ryder Cup?
I don't. Here's the only thing I get.
I'm more of a President's Cup guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got a super hot Ryder Cup take, and it does require me cursing.
You want to move the Ryder Cup take to the paid side of things?
No.
Or you just want to lay it out here, just letting people know that there's cursing involved?
Yeah, I just
gotcha.
give it to you.
Gotcha.
It's 2025, man.
I know you're trying to clean it up.
No. It's 2025.
Oh, okay.
This first number one. There's not a single thing as known as Europe. Okay, your countries have been at war for fucking centuries. Even my people cannot accept that there's Sicilians, cannot accept that there's Romans, cannot accept that there's Neapolitans. Do you think they give two fucks about the English, the Spanish, the French? They do not. Spoiler. And do not get me started about what the rest of Europe thinks of Germany. Okay? It's 2025. You want to play? My team's on the fucking field. My team's from America. Okay? You want to play? Rory, get a bunch of fucking Brits to play with you. You don't get John Rahm. You don't get Ludwig Aberg. You don't get any of these other guys that you're trying to claim. Oh, John Rahm, you're Spanish. Awesome. Go get 11 other Spaniards to play with you. Fuck straight off with Europe.
So you want, instead of FIBA, you want FIGA. That's what you want.
I get fired up about that, man. I'm sorry.
Clearly.
Sorry.
It's okay. I understand.
It started as Britain.
I know.
Versus America.
I understand.
I'll even accept Great Britain as a team.
Okay.
But I will not accept Europe. I will certainly not accept any chance of Europe. Just understand your own history. Okay? You're cheering for currency. The only thing you have in common is the euro.
Not really anymore.
Well, then you don't even fucking have that.
I was going to say,
you have a great train system.
I will.
Let's cheer for the trains.
I will admit that I have not exactly been immersed in Brexit politics since. I just know it happened, but aren't they off the euro now? I don't know. I'm showing my ugly Americanness here. I don't really know what's going on ever.
Get a team. My team's on the field.
But you know what, though? The Europeans are united in one thing: laughing at us. If you think about it.
But when it comes to golf, though, are they really? They're all on the same side.
Well, thank you for saying the quiet part out loud. Ain't no nationalities. They're all united about one thing and one thing only. The flag is green, and it's got a dollar sign on it. That's what they care about. All right, let's get you some DraftKings. As I mentioned earlier, my Respect the Troops $5 parlay did not come through. So you know what, Troops? How about you respect me? Respect me.
Okay.
Okay? Come on now. Come on.
You know what it was?
What was it?
ECU wore the flag pirate.
They did.
They Americanized their pirate.
They got the American pirate. They even had it at midfield too with the North Carolina outline. It looked really, really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just kind of sad that my Respect the Troops parlay didn't really play out. Anyway, we do have the
as said on this program.
I know you called it. You called it.
It's okay.
We got the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots on Sunday. I really enjoy this parlay. This one's called Southern Scoring. I love this. I love this. Bucky Irving, score a TD. Bijan Robinson, score a TD. Alvin Kamara, score a TD. Chuba Hubbard, score a touchdown. That is plus 1589. You know what I'm going to do, Joe? I'm going to throw $1. I'm going to throw $5 on that bad boy. $5 gangsta.
Here we go.
Right now, the Patriots are a 5.5 point favorite at home.
Like the Panthers. That should be a home 3.
Why do you like it?
Because it should be a home 3. They're giving you 2.5 points for free.
Okay.
Take them.
Okay. Look, it's your season. It's your shot. Do what you want to do. You can be silly like me and do a little Southern Scoring parlay. You could do the live line. I know that's where Giglio likes to live. First time touchdown, anytime TD props, thrill of live in-game betting. It's all there. Every snap is loaded with opportunity with our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use that promo code OG25. That's OG25. You'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the free portion of the OG Mailbag. Want the rest of it? Go to the YouTube membership channel, click join. We got some people mad at us trying to contextualize Dave Dorn again. We got people that are mad at the Carolina Hurricanes because Sarah Sivian said the quiet part out loud this week on Twitter. I have thoughts on that sort of thing. Mark Lazarus also wrote about this at The Athletic as it relates to Mike McLeod and the Carolina Hurricanes having interest in him and potentially Carter Hart, goalie that was part of the Team Canada sexual assault trial. So these are all things that we'll discuss on the paid portion of the OG Mailbag. All you got to do is head on over to our YouTube channel and click that join button. It's just $5. We'll see you on the other side.